Oh man, so we are hours away from the Ethereum merge. Kwon has been issued an arrest warrant and so much more going on in this market after yesterday was the worst day in equity market since June 2020. Yes, in over 2 years we've not had such a bad day, wiping off trillions of equity markets and Bitcoin suffering that big horrible red candlestick you can see there. I'm slightly under the weather, I've got a fever, I've got a sore throat, but I'm gonna have to update you anyway because we cannot miss this video with Ethereum coming up to such a huge day, but the price action is somewhat lackluster. I'm also going to go through exactly what we can look for in terms of if Ethereum has been a successful merge or not. What are the telltale signs? What can we look out for so we're prepared going into that merge, guys? If you appreciate this, you're going to have to bear with me if I'm struggling through this video, but smash all the likes. Don't forget to subscribe. I'm here to give you the data, not to look pretty or to have a perfect format. So let's get straight into this, guys. Now, the first thing I want to show you is the markets are trying to get a little bit of a bounce going. This is normal. After you have a horrible day like yesterday, trillions wiped off the economy. We've spoken to death about inflation. If you've not caught up on my videos yesterday, inflation came and missed the targets, okay? Yes, inflation is coming down. It didn't come down as much as the markets wanted to, and that is why we saw a big dump yesterday, reminding us that Jerome Powell needs to crack on with his rate hikes, and the market, being the super excited little kid, wants to move on and try to front run Jerome Powell into saying he's going to pivot, but we're nowhere near yet. Inflation's still strong. He's got work to do. 75 basis point most likely at the next meeting on the 21st next week, and the market had to price that back in. Seeing that little bit of a rebound today, Nasdaq just in kind of empathy bouncing back here, 0.6%, S&P 0.3 and 0.15 here on the Dow. You can see we've dropped back down here on the Fear and Greed Index. That tumbled back down to 27 from 34 yesterday. Okay, so we had a lot of euphoria going into that CPI reading, and you can see that's been unwound now as the market starts to get a little bit worried. If we take a look here at the Bitcoin price, things were looking pretty nice, right? You can see here we were above that 22,000 line on the top of the green channel here that we monitor, and we were hoping for an attack at 24,000 and 24.5, slightly higher, right? That would have given us our breakout of the W reversal pattern on the weekly chart, but no, big red candlestick yesterday, throwing us back into our channel, which we've been monitoring, and you can see we're getting some support from the psychological green line, which is the 20,000 line here on Bitcoin. So key level again, if we lose this level, you guys know last time we lost this level, it took a little while, we entered a symmetrical triangle, then we fell down and had an opportunity to dollar cost average in at 18,700. If we fall again from here, I will be looking for that to the downside, and I won't be surprised to see if we form a little bit of a consolidation pattern. Just like we formed this symmetrical triangle, will we consolidate here for a bit before then either move up towards the top of the channel, back at 22,000, which would be a nice long opportunity. If you guys want to take that long, you can do so on BYBIT or BitGet, links in description. As you guys know, they're the two best trading platforms which I use on a daily basis. If you're in the States, I've had a few of you message me, you can't use BYBIT, okay, unless you're using a VPN or something like that, which nobody would suggest, but you can use BitGet. BitGet is licensed in the US. Definitely check those out. They're both very similar and good platforms for usability purposes. So that's what we're watching out for here. That's what I'm looking out for here on the Bitcoin chart. If we also take a look at Ethereum, because I'm going to show you the importance of this Ethereum merge very shortly. So you can see we were forming this pattern to the downside. We broke to the top side and we took this trade. And you would have saw a couple of days ago, I mentioned that I was looking to take profits leading up to this ETH merge. I don't like holding positions, short-term trades, into a binary decision like an ETH merge. I'm going to come on to why it could be so binary, because so many things can go wrong that can spook the markets and can have an impact on any short-term trades, okay? So in terms of my long-term position, that's staying in ETH. I've dollar cost averaged my heart out. I've got loads in ETH. I'm really happy with my allocation, and I'm more than happy for ETH to get a really successful merge and continue to climb to the upside. But in terms of my short-term trade, I was getting out of that because of that exact reason. You can see, obviously, we dumped you to CPI, but now we have to see what's going to happen with the actual merge in the next few hours. Now, before I let you know what to expect from the merge, please make sure you're smashing up the like button. And also, we have to pay some homage to our good friend Kwon. Kwon, you funny guy. South Korean court issues arrest warrant for Terra co-founder Kwon. The warrant also includes 5 others, according to a report. A South Korean court has issued an arrest warrant against Kwon, the co-founder of the now defunct stablecoin stablecoin issuer Terraform Labs, okay? The warrant included 5 additional individuals reported citing a text message from the prosecutor's office. They are charged with violating the Capital Markets Act. The warrant comes 4 months. It took a long time, guys. It's about time, a lot of people are saying, months after the collapse of $40 billion Terra ecosystem and its UST. So this is good news. I mean, we want to see these guys brought to justice and at least explain. As we know, Do Kwon has not been forthcoming with any information. The only reason he came back to social media was to push his new Luna 2.0. So good that somebody is taking him to task for this, to find out the truth of what happened and to dig into this for closure for the people who lost a lot of their life savings. Now, in other news, we've also had US Treasury blacklist several more Bitcoin addresses allegedly tied to Iran ransomware. Again, guys, this is not good. We saw what happened with Tornado Cash. We saw Coinbase are funding some litigation to help protect Tornado Cash and what happened there. But again, several more Bitcoin addresses allegedly tied to Iran ransomware attacks. So now they've been on the sanctions list. This is not good. This is not a good precedent to set. We know Canada did this when the trucking protests were happening. And this is not good from the US, who want to and claim to be, they want to be at the forefront of adopting technology and being a stable hub for crypto, but their actions are not showing that. The SEC, Gary Gensler, since he's come in charge, things have progressively gotten more and more bureaucratic and more difficult. So not another good piece of news here today to come out, and definitely something for us to be aware of. Now, let's get on to the interesting bit, and that is, when are we going to merge, right? So you can see here, it's saying the time is up. We should be merging. Obviously, this is an approximation. Nobody exactly knows the time we're going to merge, apart from the fact it's measured in something called the terminal total difficulty number. So a lot of people are expecting this to happen somewhere on Thursday midday, and that's going to be the number I've highlighted there. That's your TTD when it's going to happen, okay? So you have to keep an eye on this. It's not straightforward as this is the exact time it's going to happen, and we have to keep an eye on it. But more importantly, how do we know when this is going to be a good merge? How do we know if it went successful? There are 3 key criteria we need to look out for, guys. When this happens, I want you guys to look for 3 things if you're trying to play this either for a trade or if you're interested in the long-term basis to know if this has gone smoothly. The first thing is we need to look at block proposals, and the block proposals need to happen every 12 seconds without fail. In other words, if you go onto any of these websites, if you go onto Beacon Chain or beaconscan.com and you take a look at this, you should be seeing that these blocks are filled every 12 seconds. If you do not see that and you continue to see empty slot on those websites, then that is an issue. That shows that the proposals are not being picked up by the validators. Either they're offline, they're on another fork somewhere, and they've not caught up with what needs to happen, which is to be on the Beacon Chain and be ready for the new proof of stake Ethereum. Okay, so that's something for us to watch out for. Now, it's gone okay in dress rehearsals. We know Ethereum 2.0 has had plenty of dress rehearsals, but there is also going to be some of those mistakes. So don't get caught up if you see a couple of empty slots. That's very, very normal. Normally it resolves itself quite quickly within the hour. Anything longer than that, then we're going to have to be a little bit worried about what is going on. Why is it not resolving itself? And why are these validators not with it? Is there a technical glitch? Are people refusing to? What is going on? So that's the first thing. You want to look out for those empty slots. If you see that, huge red flag. It should look like this. Block, 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 block. That's what we should see on the scan. Now, the next thing we want to look at is participation rate, okay? Now, we know that for Ethereum, there's about 420,000 validators on post-merge, okay? Now, we need to see that about at least 2/3 of that network are participating in approving the blocks, okay? So to receive enough votes. If we do not see that, again, this is a problem. We need to understand what happens, but we know that it can function with 66%. Currently, on the new proof of stake, we can see they're currently sitting at 99.5% participation, but we don't want to see that fall below 2/3. That could be a huge problem and another red flag for us to look out for. And then finally, we want to look at the block finality, okay? So we need to look at this block finality to find out what is going on. So what happens is, so you can see here, finality explained is when the network collectively declares a block, a checkpoint in time in which it will never be reverted. The point at which we pop, well, why'd you keep moving out of the way? The point at which we pop the champagne is the point where we finalize the merge checkpoint, which will be somewhere around 13 to 15 minutes post-merge. Why so many minutes? Network finality on Ethereum Beacon Chain is reached after 2 epochs. okay, by at least 2/3 of active validators. An epoch is a period of 6.4 minutes, okay? So we know that within 13 to 15 minutes after the merge, we should see an improvement. If we don't, then we know there is an issue with the merge. So that is what we need to look out for, guys. It's going to be a hectic few days. Do not be surprised to see if price action is a little lackluster, okay? So do not be surprised to see if it's a bit anticlimactic. This is why I do not hold trades going into such outcomes where there are so many different options and variability that can play out. I personally will be looking to let it play out, see what happens thereafter, and then maybe take some trades or some positions thereafter. If we get a big dump, I'll be looking to add some more, because as long as it goes smoothly from a fundamental perspective, that is a huge coup for Ethereum. So if we see that the traders are not excited and they start selling their positions out and we get a dip on Ethereum, I will load up my long-term bags, because I'm more than happy once Ethereum's got through that merge. It's a far safer bet than before it was, literally just a day before. If we see anything obviously bad go on with the merge, then we'll have to evaluate that at the time and to see how bad is it, what does it mean, is it critical, and no doubt I will jump on to give you guys some of my takes on that. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm gonna go get some rest and drink some lemsip or something warm. Don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.